And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dream League Season 11. It is the major, and we got some major matchups on our side. Virtus Pro versus Ford Gaming. We got Group C. But first up, I'm joined by my good friend Draskell. Draskell, how's it going?
I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. I'm actually pretty excited that we got to watch this game in particular because I always kind of enjoy watching Forward. It's one of those teams that I feel like has a really high cap, but I feel like they haven't really been able to hit their stride yet. They kind of struggled a bit at ESL, got a bad beat, getting 0-2'd by Secret Amaneski, who I think is also in their group for this tournament. So I'm curious to see what they can do against VP. You never know what VP you're gonna see on any given day.
Yeah, it's true. Are they going to be the best team in the tournament, or are they going to drop games to the worst team? It seems to be like VP's thing forward, as you said. I don't know if you've heard the rumor, Miller, when watching pubs, but apparently it's well, I see MS says drafting, but I've heard he's moved to offlane and Universe is the 4. I don't know if there's like
Okay.
rumors to that credence, but all their pub heroes suggest there is.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I mean, I guess we'll find out in a few minutes, right? Like either way, we'll be able to tell if he's actually going to be playing offlane again. Which, I mean, they're both really good offlanes. That's the thing that kind of stumps me. Is like obviously Universe has been around forever, and he's played offlane since offlane has been a thing. But I feel like maybe he's just a bit more like the way that Universe plays the game. I feel like he was always really stable when he plays from the offlane, and I think he has really good game sense. So maybe they just want to switch it up and see how it feels for a bit. But yeah, like I said, I guess we'll find out sooner or later. BP's bans, Lone Druid, definitely a respect ban for this team. I think if you're coming in as the underdog, which I would still say Forward are,
Yeah.
probably not by a wide margin, but maybe like 60-40. It's a really easy hero to build a team around, and they have been known to run it quite a bit in the past. So they're going to take that one out. They first picked the Coddle, Instant Nix from Forward Gaming, and the Leshrac, which is another hero that I think the NA teams really favor a lot. It offers push potential. It's pretty flexible. I've seen it played as a 3, a 4, sometimes even mid, depending on if the game actually can run it in the lane. But I think this hero's coming back. Like this thing destroys towers, huge damage in fights, really big AoE damage contribution.
Yeah, and I mean, he has a stun, right? Like, it's some of the easiest things to do. Just get stuns in lanes, get some kills, and start snowballing, which we saw a lot in MDL. And Juggernaut getting picked up now. It seems like we're seeing a lot of just stable cores get picked up again in the first phase. Is there, like, a reason we don't see 2 supports anymore?
I think it's really hard to like guarantee anything from the safe lane for like in regards to being able to get farm, right? So I think for me personally, I would rather have a hero that I know is going to be able to do something regardless of picks. Because if you look at the bans, right? Lifestealer gone, Lone Druid gone, Enigma and Troll also gone. That kind of makes the Jug pick in the first phase strong anyway, so you don't necessarily have to worry about this kind of weird aggro dual lane. Leshrac and Nyx don't really scream, I'm going to offensive tri lane against a Jug. I mean, sure, you can still try it if you want to pick up, like, I think for they run like Corsair and stuff, right? So if they did that, I could see it happening. But you're also up against a Coddle, and it still just doesn't seem ideal, at least to me, for Forward Gaming. So
No.
it's not just about the fact that they're picking the core early that's stable. It's also the bans.
Yeah. Well, you see Ursa banned, aggressive hero, one of Resolution. It seems like Resolution likes playing those farmers, but he will throw out an Ursa once in a while, go a little bit crazy, and there's going to be a
Yeah, look at
PA.
how much they're protecting Ramsey's pick.
Yeah.
Like, I think every single hero that they've banned so far is just good against Jug and one way or the other. Like, Lone Druid's tanky, really bad target to Omni Slash, can root you during your spin. Enigma, CC you through BKB. Troll Warlord, for obvious reasons, you can't really Omni Slash this hero unless he gets chain stun. He'll just ulti and not die. Same thing for Ursa, same thing for PA. Like, this is going to be the cushiest Juggernaut game from a core versus core perspective that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. Do you think VP does that? Because, like, they don't have last pick, right? But, like, no one probably says he's not scared of, like, Yawar or Rezo middle, right? He's like, I can have a bad, like, a semi-bad matchup as long as Ramses farms, right?
I would assume so, but even in matchups where he's not hero favored, I don't really see him ever just like feed. Like he always gets something. I'd say he's pretty stable. So I think even when we were, we obviously did MDL not too long ago, like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
even in the games where they were kind of getting bopped, he still felt to me like the one guy who never really had that bad of a game. So yeah, I don't think he has any reservations about the mid matchups.
Yep. Well, we see some bans. Tiny getting banned out. That hero from first ban to first phase pick to it's kind of been falling off. Was that just like the tree grab nerf? Like just made him not a tier 1 hero anymore? Because he's still good, right?
I mean, he's definitely still good. He's just weaker in the lane. And I think that that was one of the big things that teams really liked is that you could play him as a 4 and you not only had the ability to start fights by like later on blink tossing people in and stuff and just being really annoying, but your lane presence was crazy. Like you could walk up and trade with almost any hero that wasn't like say a Shadow Shaman or something because you obviously don't have any base armor, but there were a lot of heroes you could just walk up and hit.
Yep.
And I think without the ability to just do that, it kind of takes a lot away from what the hero could do. But in a game like this, it kind of makes sense, especially if you were going to pick a lion straight afterwards. These are three heroes that will absolutely just get crushed by a tiny. And even in the laning phase, it doesn't really seem like you want to be playing against that hero. Super high HP. You're not. None of these heroes right click that much.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good ban.
All right, in this line, so another stun coming out. Is this like it's not really a counter to the jug, right? But it's nice to have that blink instant hex. Or why?
It is
Like
a jug counter. Lion is absolutely a jug
Okay,
counter,
sure,
100%. Because so for people who don't know, the reason why it's a counter to jug is not only is it just a natural blink buyer and hex is an instant disable, but if a jug is spinning on you and you are facing the hero, you can hex before Omni every single time. Like unless the guy has like a Manta or a BKB or whatever, you'll be able to hex him. So you're not going to be able to Omni out his spin. It's really annoying for the jug too in lane. Like if you just walk up and mana drain him and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you'll have to buy like stick. You can definitely apply some lane pressure perhaps depending on what forward want to do with it. But it is definitely a counter. They have a lot of stun on
Yeah.
forward, so that's the way they're going to deal with the brew. That's the way they're going to deal with the jug.
And you're seeing it. Are you a little worried about how paper thin they are, or with all the stuns? I mean, it's kind of a give or take thing, anyways.
It just depends on how fights start. You always run the risk of kind of getting run over against some of these teams like VP are currently putting together because their team fight already looks pretty nasty. You got Brew Split, you got Juggernaut with Healing Ward and Spin. If you get the buttons off for VP, it's going to be really overwhelming in a 5v5 scenario. Okay, forward do pick up some kind of
the
team
Rezo.
yeah. This is a hero that can definitely bring a little bit of stability to the draft because before that pick, it was essentially all how the fight starts. You get a Vendetta into some chain stuns, sure, fight's looking good. But if VP jump you, it's really hard to recover because once the split goes off, you're like, oh crap, we pretty much just have to run. We don't have anything to deal with like post split Brewmaster, and Void is a way to ensure that even if the fight is going poorly, you're still going to have some guaranteed control. And like you said, it's a Rezo classic, so I don't mind it.
So now for VP, we're assuming it's probably a core Brewmaster. Do you just pick up a Pasha hero here? Does anything look like insanely good in the 4-roll form?
You mean 3? Because
isn't the Brew gonna be 3, or you think he's gonna be the support?
I'm not sure yet. Actually, I mean, I suppose they could do both.
Whoa.
Okay, so they are gonna go for the Lich. All right, so it is gonna end up being a farming brew, at least in some capacity. I suppose in these types of games, really the only thing that matters is you being able to get off your split, and the easiest way to do that is you just have farm.
Yeah,
I do think that the Lich is it's kind of a pseudo save against a hero like Faceless, but at the same time, I think it's more of a laning thing. Like Brewmaster Lich is just a nightmare to deal with. Like you're never going to be able to trade realistically with these heroes. I don't think there's a dual lane that forward right now can put together with their heroes that's going to be able to pressure this. You might be able to kill the Lich if you're lucky, but I think what's most likely going to happen is you're either going to see Lich Brew or Keeper Brew, and both of those lanes are just really annoying. Like Lich Jug obviously is a classic, so
yeah.
Any combination of these heroes basically is going to win the lane.
Yeah, are you a fan? Are you like with this patch? Are you a fan of like maybe more team fighty stuff, or are you like an all in kind of lane guy yourself? Or do you still
It always feels good to play the lane to me. I don't like being behind in the first like 10 minutes and it feeling like you have to do so much more to get yourself back in the game. Because like obviously towers die a lot faster than they used to, and there's a lot of things that are really, really hard to do when you're just behind even a couple of thousand gold and maybe like a handful of levels,
Yeah.
especially against a draft like VPs. Like, say your Lion's not 6, your Nyx isn't 6. Like, how are you going to make moves on the map against like a Jug and a Brew? At best, you're getting support kills right now. And that just doesn't seem like the best. So for now, I'm definitely favoring what VP has because I feel like their laning phase is going to just be really, really straightforward, easy to execute. Their team fight's not really complicated. Just walk in, hit your buttons, do your split, and if you get the void, thrown in the air before Chrono comes out,
It's gonna be real tough,
yeah.
So we see an SF ban. They've been popular in the CIS scene. That's all at the minor, pretty much. That's all the CIS teams were playing with that Guardian Greaves build. Have you seen it very much yourself?
I've been playing it. It's crazy.
You love it.
It's super, super nice. Well, it's kind of what brought Shadow Fiend back. He hadn't been played for a really long time. He had like some really garbage laning phase. People had to skill like level 1 Raze in some matchups. Still do, actually. But he got some level 1 buffs. I think he got strength like a couple of patches. So it's kind of to a point now where, because Guardian Greaves are just such a good item, and he's one of the few heroes besides Viper, who obviously just got nerfed, and like Pango, who's banned, who can actually buy the item and not feel horrible about it.
Yeah.
So it's a consistency thing. You get the Greaves, you run around with your team. They're like, forward are actually scared of 5-man.
Whoa.
And there's another 5-man hero. So
it is, but are you? I haven't seen this hero at all since the nerf. Have you?
I guess I haven't, now that I think about it. But I still think like the deny nerf is definitely big. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, not being able to deny with Tidebringer is going to make it so that forward are going to feel a lot better sending a wider hero pool against the Kunkka mid and not just get absolutely crushed. But at the same time, it gives VP what they want, which is just more 5-man power. Their team fight potential is just through the freaking roof. Like, you throw a boat into a Chrono, even if it doesn't necessarily deal damage, you have multiple methods of save now. You have Blinding Light, the Frost Armor, the boat as well, like we mentioned, Healing Ward, Tornadoes. It's tough, I think, for forward to execute this game.
Yeah, and I mean they've got a bunch of stuns, but you miss that one stun, like you said, and your team could just crumble apart. But is there any? Well, we're gonna have a Timbersaw hero.
That's a pretty good Timber. I mean, honestly, if he gets to a point where he has his, he's gonna need a hood this game, I think, for sure. Yeah. Just because there is a tremendous amount of magic damage. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. It's definitely something that can throw damage into the Chrono. It's pretty hard to kill. It has been known as one of the heroes that could beat Kunkka mid even prior to the Tidebringer nerfs, so I think Yawar is going to have an alright time.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, if you can't win your side lanes, you better freaking win mid. So this is it's a good pick, in my opinion. It's solid, because there's not really any hard disable besides the Kunkka and Sinister Gaze. Yeah. So you're either going to be using Yawar or you're going to use Rezo during fights if you're Pasha, and then, just try to hit your buttons if you're forward. I don't know. It's sometimes just as simple as that. It's like, if they can hit their stuns on one target and eliminate someone early, that's like the ideal way that they take these engagements.
Yeah. And as we were talking about the Universe MSS possible swapping, who knows right now? Nyx and Lesh both can play those. I assume they're still laying together. They're just going to go to the off lane and maybe some farm distribution changes. But it sounds like you favor VP's draft. Just sounds a little bit easier to execute.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's way easier to play their draft. Like, you have this really easy coddle, just, blast a wave during the mid-game. Your team fight setup is pretty easy. You just throw out a Will-O-Wisp, and then someone gets X'd, and you pop split, and you just go. You can just walk at them. For forward, it feels like a lot of things have to go correctly for them. They have to start a fight, kill someone before they are able to like, Omni, or kill someone before they can bow, or kill someone before they can do X amount of things. And that's a lot harder, just from the standpoint of, like, you need superior vision, or you need to smoke, you need to catch them off guard, things like that.
Yes. And so we will see where the lanes are going. It will be MSS and Universe bottom going to go up against, as you said, the classic and Lich Jug. Just a lot of kill potential, as well as it's going to be tough to kill. And top lane, Keeper of the Light, Brewmaster, strong lane. I mean, Brew himself is just tough to kill. And then this Faceless Void, though, he's not the biggest, like, he does better in lanes now, right now. You're good.
I'm sorry. Like, give me like 1 second.
You're good.
I'll fix it.
And we see Draskel's dog, yipping about. And, well, SVG and Rezo stun will fly out. But look at this, Pasha will just pop the brawler. Drinks a little bit and will beat SVG down. Doesn't look like they'll want to fight, but see where the runes go, because it is 2v2 on both sides. Both middles really want that block, and you don't see that much anymore. Occasionally you'll see the middles try to help out for the runes, but nothing there. You'll see pretty standard stout shields quelling on both sides. Same exact items. And now 15 seconds until the runes spawn. See what SVG does. Feels like he's going to be taking a big brunt of the deaths here on this team, as well as Solo and Lich. Oh, you're good. Looks like top going to be the only real fight. Having bottom lane as well. They just want the runes, and stun is going to go out. We will have a Frost Armor, and Universe actually in a lot of trouble. Bottom does have some of the highest base regen. Has a stout shield and mangoes as well, and he'll just get out of there, but a lot of damage done. And, well, 3 for forward right there. Only 1 for VP.
Yeah, a little bit surprising, actually, that they're able to get 3 runes with those heroes. I guess, yeah, Pasha got the only one for VP, and Uni gets both. Even if he had died there, I mean, sometimes you can kind of make the argument that bounty runes is still worth it. They're a lot of net worth for the team. But he lives, and like you mentioned, he has really high regen, so he's not going to... He's one of the few heroes you don't have to feel bad about not buying a healing salve on. Because you have, like, 1 tango, and you're just good.
Let's see. Bottom lane seems like the lane it feels like both dual lanes actually have quite a bit of kill potential, while mid, probably just going to be more of a last-hitting matchup. And does Kunkka win this one until Timber gets some levels in that armor? Or?
I think it's very player dependent. Yeah. And for now, like, UR is definitely getting, he's getting beat on a bit. He does have his salve coming out on the courier, so he's not going to be off the lane for too long. But obviously, Timber does start to become a bit more durable as the lane goes on. And then Kunkka will not really ever be able to kill him without assistance.
Yeah. See what he comes. Meanwhile, we go back top. Stun will just fly to get that range creep. Are range creeps to you, like, not too important, but they're that important, right? Where you just
they are definitely that important. They are pretty much like in really high level dual lanes. People are fighting for the range creep. You know, you're using your stuns. You're pushing your buttons to get that gold. That thing is very, very important for side lanes, mid lane, no matter where you go. So you can't underestimate the value of it. Even getting like 2 or 3 of them denied in a row, even if you're in a side lane, that feels horrible. So
you're telling everyone is range creep. Would you rather last hit 1 range creep or 2 melee creeps?
I mean, that's kind of a weird argument because it doesn't really happen that much.
Yeah.
If you get 2 melee creeps denied because you went for a range creep, then you just made like a bad decision, right?
Yeah, something
it's just value.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just straight value. So it's normally like you miss a melee for a ranged or you miss a denied for a range, and that's completely fine.
So we do see Faceless Void trying to farm up top. Not the biggest lane pressure, but he's just farming under tower, having a pretty decent time. Does Void just take over this game at any point, or is like Jug versus Void late game pretty even?
I think Void definitely can take over. It's very dependent on, I think, how the first couple of chronos play out for Rezo. Like, he's not going to be under any kill threat in this lane against a Brew or a Coddle, but he is being pressured in the farm department. So we'll see what he builds. For now, it looks like he's just going to go for treads and maybe a Wraith Band or 2. He's actually going 2 Wraith Bands and a Wand. So he's going a lot of early game focused items for now. Maybe he switches it up, but we'll see.
So far, nothing too crazy happening. Some damage being done top, but you see level 4 on Timber now, and he will just do. I love how Whirling Death works now with how many trees are nearby, the extra damage. That thing feels like it does so much damage now. We're gonna see first blood bottom.
That lane. Yeah.
Edict goes out, but won't be able to save in Universe. It looks like Universe is playing the 4 role here on the Nyx with Core Leshrac.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what their reasoning is, like, internally for the role swap, but, you know, if they feel like it's going to be better for them, then who's to tell them otherwise, right?
Yeah, exactly. They know their team better than anyone else, right?
Yeah.
Blast comes through, hits Rezo, but luckily has the level 2 time walk, just takes all the damage off. And pretty even lanes right now, all throughout.
Yeah, everyone's kind of hitting creeps, and that's kind of another... Actually, it's good for forward, actually, because I thought that the Void might struggle a little bit more, but I guess against Coddle Brew, because all of their damage is burst-oriented, you're always able to just, you know, time walk. I mean, ideally, you would stagger your spells, but I don't think Pasha wants, you know, Roger just spamming the wave off cooldown. SVG? He's in trouble
He's in trouble, yeah. Blast comes out, 1 more hit, it looks like, and Pasha will just beat him down, and with that Keeper in lane, the mana, the cooldowns, everything just back up for Brew already, and you see the problem. It's a scary lane in both these side lanes if you're forward.
Yeah, it's really scary if you're a freaking lion, though. You don't have the
You
ability
got
to escape. I mean, they're committing to Pasha here, but he's got 8 stick charges.
Does. And they blast, and they're just going to go in doing a lot of damage, but it's just going to run away. Will he get bashed? It is a 10% chance, pretty damn low. And they will just back out. Pull happens over on the big camp in middle. Level 5 versus level 5. No one actually taking the tower. Not sure where he's running to.
Just trying really hard not to get too many whirling deaths.
Nah. Quite a bit of damage. Ooh, bottom solo. He's going to be in trouble. Let's be the first kill for Ford. Sure looks like it. Looks like the bounty rune will get taken by Universe, but over there Ramses takes another, and, well, pretty even trades there, except for solo.
Oh, SVG again.
Yeah, he boots first, but Roger with the tranquil boots on Keyword Light, already one of the fastest heroes, and, well, see you later. Wait. Ooh, won't make it, Roger.
That was really close, actually.
Yeah, I thought Roche had him, but good right click, and well, no one's just going to hit the shrine. He's level 6. Do you stay in this lane versus Timber, or do you just completely leave and start ganking right now?
Well, he's got 3 points in Tidebringer, so he's gonna need like a setup from someone.
Yeah.
You can kill bottom super easily. Top is a bit harder, and it's already like, you know, VP are doing all right. It's still not going to be super easy to kill Rezo unless, like I said, you get the X onto him specifically. So maybe he's not feeling it too much of a rush. Kunkka's still very good at farming jungle. He's got the points in a Tidebringer or whatnot. So.
Ramses just right-click some creeps.
Ooh,
Top.
the glyph. The BM glyph. I love it.
And there it is. No one tips you are for, and they're just going to keep lasting in tower. Looks like top lane. They're just fighting around this stack. Roger with the big blast. Rezo does have time walk level 3 now, and yep, he'll take it all off. Ton of gold picked up from that stack, though. And oh, rotation middle. Universe hits the stun on Kunkka. They are going to run over. Blades come out. Whirling Death hits. Will miss the Torrent. X hits on Yawar. Going to be a tough kill. This Nyx actually feels pretty bad if you stun, and Resolution actually gets the kill top on Roger. There we go. They take the gold lead back here. It's 3-2 in favor of VP kill-wise, though.
That was a really interesting trade in the mid lane. Like, it's really hard to kill a Kunkka when you don't have any points in a Timber Chain. Like, you got to be able to run after him. Really nice move from no one throwing out the X, realizing that Yawar doesn't have the skill point in that yet.
And well, there's going to be a kills traded bottom, actually. Is there going to be more? No. Solo kills MSS. MSS kills Ramses. I get who do you favor? That doesn't look like the experience goes on the side of Dire, though, which hurts.
Yeah, it's weird that Ramses was worth less than MSS.
That was top. Stun comes up again, and look at this. We said they need to play fast on Ford, but we'll be able to get out the brawler. He's going to try to run away. Ooh, baits out the cloud. Now Ramsey spinning SVG. He might just go down. 2 more right clicks. Do we have any spells? He has a stun. Will get it off. They turn it now. Universe has a stun up as well. Will he throw it out? He will. They're looking for Juggernaut. He might just get right click.